So, how are you today? I am jumping on here because I want to, I don't know, come clean, share with you something I came away with last night from my Facebook Live that I did last night, and that is that when I started doing these Facebook Live, I had the intention and I showed up from a place of vulnerability, from a place of really being truthful and really just myself. And um, and then last night I did a video, and all last night and this morning I realized, you know what? That was my teacher self. I That was my like teacher facade, and my teacher self is authentic, right? But it does mask vulnerability. I find that that happens. I do that. And I don't want to mask vulnerability when I show up here for you and for me. Like, I don't want that. And so I had to take a moment for myself and be like, wait a second. Like, there is a point here that I am trying to make for myself and an intention that I am trying to live, which is all about living in my truth. And the truth is that vulnerability is so hard. Like, you know that, we know that. We've learned a lot about that from Brene Brown, right? If you follow her, vulnerability is hard, but it's where our freedom lies. It's where it all is. It's where the juicy stuff is, but it is so hard to get there. And vulnerability is about speaking our truth, about sharing, like, this is what I'm really thinking, this is what I'm really feeling, and that's where I want to be. And my truth is that for most of my life, I'd say all my life, I don't remember a time without feeling this way. I have just felt lost. I have felt lost. That has been the primary feeling. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I am in my life. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing next. I don't know if this is the right decision. I don't know if I should listen to you or myself, or, what the next step is. I have just felt lost. And I have felt like I don't understand what the truth is. I don't know how to tell the truth. And I don't know how to really discern the truth for myself. So my work has really been all around this. And it is such a practice for me, like a daily, moment by moment practice to live in my truth, to be truthful to who I am, to make decisions from a place that is from my own being, from my own heart, from my own mind, and not to meet the approval of somebody else, or not because somebody else told me to. It is such a work of for me to stay in my truth. And this work really began for me when I was, I don't know, in my early 20s, maybe 23. And I took a class. I started taking classes from a woman named Jenny Mackey. Maybe she'll watch this. And she was the first person that I've ever experienced in my life that I would consider to be a truth teller, a person who lived in her truth, looked life in the eye from a truthful stance, who just dripped vulnerability and truth, and through that, power and courage. I mean, I looked at her as if she was like from another planet, because it was just like, oh my God, how do you do this? And I had never really experienced such truth, such clarity in feeling, such honesty in words and in movement and in life. Like, I hadn't experienced something like that before. So to experience her was such an awakening, and to experience her classes really opened me up to something I had never experienced before, and it set me off on this journey. And that was like 20 years ago. And I feel like for the last 20 years, I like, or, when I started taking classes with her, I didn't like all of a sudden go, woo, like there I am. And I'm totally contained in myself, and I'm confident and I'm courageous and all this stuff. It's just this little flicker of inspiration that happened. And then all those moments just begin to stack on top of each other. But it has literally felt like for the last 20 years that I have been crawling out from this place of being lost. I have been making this march of like pure just intensity and sweat and tears of being like, I want to live my truth. It has been a crawling out. That's the best way I can describe it. Is just crawling towards the truth of who I am and what I want. I have desperately wanted to be myself, whoever I am. I've been wanting that so much. And a few days ago, I was sharing that I was standing on a rock on January 2nd, the day after New Year's, about to jump into this super cold pond as a way to celebrate New Year's. And I was just crying. And I'm saying, I'm afraid to live. I'm afraid to live. I'm afraid to live. And then I got to this point of like, I want to live my life, but I'm afraid to live my life. I'm afraid to live my life, but I want to live my life. I want to live my life. And I feel like I have been crawling from the last 20 years of feeling lost, 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 lost. And I got on that rock and it's like, okay, here I am. Here I am. And I don't want to lose touch with here I am. And I don't want to hide myself behind, teacher words and teacher voice and all that stuff. I just want to show up so authentically in this moment for me, for you, for us, and for all that comes from this place of being honest. I so want to just be free and to live big and full. I already know how to live small. I already know how to hide. I already know how to hold back. I'm so ready for an entirely different experience. So I am committing to showing up from a place of truth, from a place of vulnerability, and showing up here every day to express that, to own that, and to really claim that for myself. And if any part of you is saying, God, me too, oh my God, we are in this together. We are in this together. You're not alone. All right, share with me what you're wanting. I would just love to have a conversation with you about this. So anything you want to pop into the comments, like let me know. And I'm I'm doing the work. And thank you for showing up here and for your support. All right, love you. Bye. Man, it didn't work.